Welcome to all of you. My name is Thomas Daum. I'm an agricultural economist at the University of Hohenheim. And I would like to discuss with you today whether farm robots may lead to an ecological utopia or dystopia. The utopia may look something like this painting from Peter Bruegel the Elder, showing Garden Eden, a situation where we have an abundance of highly nutritious and unhealthy food without the need to work much for that. But farm robots may also lead to a dystopia, therefore this topic is very much important to be discussed. So we are entering the age of robot farmers, driven by technological advancements and labor shortages. And this is starting with horticulture and livestock production, but increasingly also crop production. And there have been a lot of discussions on socioeconomic effects, such as on labor, but very few discussions on environmental aspects. There were some discussions on input use efficiency, but really how robots will change farming more fundamentally, the type of farming we do, our relation to nature that is largely neglected. But I believe that this is very much important to be discussed because the future of robots depends not only on technological advancements and commercial considerations, but can be shaped by societal decisions. No? As societies, we can shape how the future should look like. There is no technological determinism. To facilitate us these discussions, I have developed two scenarios following Max Weber's ideal types. So these are really simplifications and just to act as heuristic devices to facilitate discussion. So let us have a look at the ecological utopia. Here we have fleets of smaller robots flying and purring around the fields, doing different activities, such as direct seeding, removing weeds, pruning hedgerows, or taking care of animals. Using these fleets of smaller robots that can work 24/7 has allowed farmers to adapt agroecological farming practices that were previously constrained by the labor intensity, which also often led to yield drops once they were adapted. Many farmers also do much more diverse type of farming in the utopia, integrating grain crops, fruits, vegetables, as well as trees and animals. And using these smaller robots as compared to large tractors has facilitated a return to more mosaic type field structures and the integration of more natural landscape features such as trees, rocks and streams that tractors always found difficult to maneuver around. Using these light robots has also reduced soil compaction, and agroecological farming practices have stopped soil degradation and loss. Unlike tractors that only really periodically cross fields, these smaller robotic fields swarms have enabled a continuous plant-specific husbandry, really taking care of the needs of the plants in an optimum way at all periods of time. And often using new approaches. For example, rather than using herbicides, they may use surgical mechanical hose or microwaves. Let's have a look at the ecological dystopia too. So here we see large robots spraying agrochemicals on large fenced-off fields of monocultures. And how did this happen? Well, robots may work best where objectives and environments are well structured and can be controlled. Hence, this led farmers to impose more structures on their farms, reducing farm and landscape diversity. Land consolidation has increased too, as manufacturers only focus on robotizing their largest equipment. Plant-specific crop husbandry has remained uneconomic, and in the quest to control farm environments, farm factories have emerged, where farming and nature is seen as two separate spheres. Let's come to some discussion points. We have seen that robots can lead both to ecological utopia and dystopia. I believe that the dystopia would be a large missed potential. like few farming technologies before, farm robots may help us to achieve high yields, but still protect the biodiversity on farms as well as off farms, and allow us to reconcile land sparing and land sharing, this big debate that has always occupied us. Clearly, this approach with these two different scenarios has some limitations, some simplifications. Small may not always be more beautiful. Small farmers, small robots may also spray agrochemicals, and they may not always be more efficient. And large robots may also do things like strip multi-cropping, hedgerow cultivation, and facilitating mechanical weeding, among others. From a research and development perspective, the utopia will be more difficult to achieve. It requires robots that can deal with the complexities of more unstructured farm environments and allow for symbiotic relation with nature. This will require developments regarding big data, analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and experts with knowledge on engineering, agronomy, and ecology to develop such farm robots. Societies have to discuss and develop governance mechanisms to harness robots' potential to serve people and planet. Without that, we may end up in a dystopia without wanting to do so. And we can shape the type of technological trajectories that we will see. For example, by setting up complementary policies, channeling public research and development money, or setting up regulations, subsidies, and taxes. Much for your attention. This paper has been published in Trends in Ecology and Evolution, and please feel free to reach out in case you want to discuss.